Welcome to Power Franchise Podcast. I'm Ethan,
I'm Khalil.
and today we have NBA free agency and some like mini games, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Khalil, get started.
A lot's happened in the last 24 hours. Some off the court stuff, some on the court stuff, mostly off the court stuff. But the big news, obviously, the big news in all of sports at the moment is Kevin Durant this morning requested a trade the day of free agency beginning. Kyrie and a lot of things have like developed in this story. First, it started off with KD demanding a trade, of course. Then it was, the Nets are looking to move both Kyrie and KD. And now it's Kyrie and KD still want to play together, just not in Brooklyn.
Not on the Nets.
So it's a very interesting situation. But that's the biggest story at the moment. So we just want to come on here and, try and figure out where's the best place for the Nets to send Kevin Durant to, in Kevin Durant's perspective, along with in the Nets perspective, where they can get assets back. Because I don't know if this is just me and I'm overrating Ben Simmons a bit. I feel like if they get a good enough young player back, they can make the play-in.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben Simmons, the solid like role players they have, and then a Brandon Ingram, maybe someone of that tier, some that caliber. Maybe that could be a low-end play-in team. Maybe they don't win in the play-in, but I still think that's a play-in team.
They might just make it.
Yeah, but it's just an interesting situation. So let's start here with KD because he's obviously the face of free agency at the moment.
Yes.
Did I lose my tabs? I lost my tabs. It's whatever. We'll make it work. I'm gonna pull up my tabs, but we can talk about it as we figure everything out. Oh, here's my stuff.
Yeah.
Here we go. What was your reaction when you found out KD requested a trade? Like, what were you doing when it happened?
I was just playing I was playing Fall Guys, bro. And then you text the group chat, or I get a notification seeing Kevin Durant request trade from the Nets. And then you texted me directly, and then you texted the group chat, bro. And I was like, bro, this can't be real.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie just re-signed with them. He just re-signed the Nets.
It seems as if we all got bamboozled and we thought something was going to happen in Brooklyn and nothing was going to happen.
Like, we all thought, Kyrie was going to go to the Lakers or something. But no, he re-signed to the Nets. And then we thought, they were going to run it back. But KD wants out.
Yeah.
So pretty much my reaction is like, what is happening? Or like, what is this, I guess?
This is the biggest. If we're being real, KD is the best player one of the two best players to ever request a trade. Like really good players have left in free agency, but the only other player on Kevin Durant's caliber who's ever like said, I don't want to be here anymore and requested a trade was Kobe. And Kobe didn't even get traded. He requested a trade and then he never got traded. Kevin Durant is going to get traded. I think there's a 0% chance that Kevin Durant is a Net next year. I'd say the same thing with Kyrie. I think they're both going to be gone. So
because they both want to team up somewhere else.
Yeah,
they don't want to go.
Do you think they're actually going to team up? I don't think that's a realistic thing.
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it.
Extremely unrealistic because that's going to be a lot of money, and then not a lot of teams have the money to pay both of them.
Right. Plus, that's the value you would have to give back to Kyrie and KD. Like, it's already going to take a lot to get KD on his own. Then you throw in another like all-star level guard. That's a very tough ask. Like, it's going to be
you would essentially have to give up your whole team. Yeah,
pretty much. But yeah, let's get on to KD and some locations. We have this split into four tiers. We got the works for KD and the Nets. This is a team that Kevin Durant is going to see some sort of benefit as far as winning, success, personal success, maybe his career, his legacy.
Keep this in mind. We should say this now. Kevin Durant wants to win championships.
Right, that's his goal.
That's his goal. He just wants to win. Right. So, like, win now. That's the situation that he wants to go into.
This would be a team that has assets that could give something back to the Nets that puts them in a better spot than they are now, since they don't really have any picks.
Setting up for the future.
Yeah. Works for the Nets and not KD is a team that has assets, but might not be the best situation. They might not be a championship contender immediately. So it might not, be the best for Kevin Durant, but it definitely works for the Nets. This teams down here would be a team that works for Kevin Durant where he would win. I'm sure he would win, but the team that it would be wouldn't have the assets to make a good enough trade that would actually benefit the Nets. And then last tier is unrealistic, which is a team that it may be possible, but it just wouldn't make sense for it to happen.
Let's toss a team in there right now, the Magic and Pacers,
Magic,
because
yeah, Magic and Pacers are definitely unrealistic. I think another team.
Sacramento or no, San Antonio.
No, I think San Antonio has a case, and we'll get to them when we get to them. But another
Okay.
team I think would be
Oh,
unrealistic
yeah.
is the Hawks. I don't think it would
Mhm.
make. It would be really weird if the Hawks were somehow like John Collins for KD being the basis of the trade. I don't know if
Yeah.
that works, especially since they just traded all those picks to get DeJounte Murray, which is another
Yeah.
thing that just happened that is not going to get any attention on the
It's not
podcast
going to get talked
because
about at
Kevin
all.
Durant requested a trade, which is wild. But yeah, I think these three teams at the moment are the three teams where I'm like, yeah, it really wouldn't make sense for this to, happen. We'll just go team by team now. We'll
Cool.
say Nets now because it's unrealistic.
He's
for
already
everyone
on
to
there.
say
He doesn't. Yeah.
but yeah, let's start with Milwaukee, and we're gonna actually try and build the trades with each other, as we get from team to team. So we got Milwaukee, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, at the bare minimum, this team is in the works for KD and not Nets tier.
Not the
At
Nets.
the minimum, before we build the trade, because if
Mhm.
they keep Giannis, which they will, they wouldn't do a
They
KD Giannis
they
trade.
will keep Giannis. Yeah.
If this were to happen, they would not trade Giannis. They would win. I like KD and Giannis is an
Mhm.
all-time great duo, like a
Mhm.
top 3 or 4 all-time duo to me.
Yeah.
So at the bare minimum, this works for Kevin Durant. Now it just comes down to what they can give to Brooklyn in exchange for
To
Kevin Durant.
acquire Kevin Durant.
So obviously KD is the basis of this trade. I think you trade Chris Middleton. He's probably
Mhm.
first to go because of the money, and they're like,
They're
Chris
pretty much
Middleton-
scorers. And
yeah. Of course, Kevin Durant is the scorer, but Chris
Mhm.
Middleton is a scoring type of guy.
They'd also have to give a future asset, like someone who can develop.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know if Marjan Beaucamp is on here, but he would have to be in this trade.
Yeah.
So let's just assume he's here, and then picks. And I don't know if they have their picks, because of the Drew
I
Holiday
don't
thing.
think they don't, because I think Portland just traded
They,
it away.
Portland
They
got
traded
it
to
20
Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they traded it to Detroit for Jeremy Grant, I believe.
yeah. Detroit somehow got their pick in some
Yeah.
trade. I don't know what trade it was, but yeah. Money wise, this trade would work. So just doing Chris Middleton for KD financially would work. But again, I don't think they have the picks to do it,
Mhm.
and they also don't have a top young asset that would make me trade KD.
Because they just don't have that young
Yeah,
talent
like Marjan Beaucamp
that
is cool,
fits their
but
timeline.
Chris Middleton and Marjan Beaucamp and maybe some picks doesn't make me want to trade KD. It's not a good enough package to me.
It
Do you
doesn't
feel-
make me want to reach out. Give me that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather. There's better options that I would take.
we're definitely gonna have better offers. So I think
Yeah.
this is one where it definitely works for KD. KD would be
Mhm.
successful in Milwaukee.
Mhm.
I think they would automatically become a finals. They'd be the final favorite if you have KD and Giannis.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But I don't think it works for the Nets just because they don't really have, anything that's too enticing to me. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for them to be at.
Mhm.
So next we got New
The
York,
Knicks.
and they just signed, while we're on it,
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson to a 4-year 104.
Yes.
So that's about 21 a year, I'd say, unless I'm tripping. 26 a year, actually. Yeah, it's like 26 mil a year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, see what we can do with New York. New York is interesting because there was a lot of talk when KD was a free agent the year he signed with the Nets that he was going to go to the Knicks, and then he ends up going to the Nets. So this would be an interesting way for things to turn out. So for the Knicks, I think they can make a better package than the Bucks, no question.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think
They're looking to
Knicks-
shop Julius Randle though, so that's one.
yeah, Julius Randle for the money aspect would probably
Yeah.
be part of this. Then you probably include what's his name? Where's he at? Mitchell Robinson on a sign and trade.
Mhm.
Here's the thing though. I don't think you include Julius Randle actually. And here's the thing, because if KD is coming to New York, although Julius Randle is a bit like overpaid and he's not a good contract, he is one of their better players at the end of the day. So you want to keep your better players to, have with KD so you can win.
Mhm.
So I say you keep Julius Randle, you trade like Evan
Fournier.
Fournier as the big contract,
Hmm.
include Reddish in this trade, and then the picks that they got from Oklahoma City, and then
Mhm.
their own picks. And I think this would work financially as well. It doesn't. What's the difference? So we have to cut 12 million. Oh wow. 12 million from the Knicks incoming salary. So I guess you include like, oh, this is okay. No, I think this would actually work because see, they have Kimba here. Kimba's not there
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
So I think it would work out. But
Yeah, I think that'll work out.
this is a better package to me than the Bucks. You know,
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson, Cam Reddish are both younger players who have some potential. Maybe you also ask for Obi Top if you really want to push.
Yeah.
But again, if it's KD, you can push it.
Mhm.
We saw the Lakers trade AD for Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and hella picks from like
Yeah.
2022 to 2027. That's 3 young players and then like 5 firsts. So
Mhm.
I think this is a pretty fair ask. But again,
I don't know. Like personally though, I would get rid of Julius Randle just because of his performance, and then keep the other people just for the bench asset. But then I'm sure the Nets wouldn't just want Randle.
yeah, that's why the picks come in. So they would take
Yeah.
the bad
No,
contract.
of course. The picks are always going to be there.
Yeah.
They're going to be there for every team.
Yeah. Even though we can't put them, you have to
Yeah.
assume that
You have to assume that the picks are going to be there because by the looks of it, if the Nets trade away KD and Kyrie, they're going to want to rebuild. Like,
right. There's no other way they could do it.
there's, yeah,
Restart.
they have to restart with something, which is Ben Simmons and whatever they get back.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think this is a trade that, you know, it's not a championship trade. So
Yeah.
this is where I'm like,
It just works for the
and I don't even
Nets.
think it works for the Nets that much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's unrealistic. I don't think it's unrealistic because I think there's a way it happens. I just think it's like it doesn't really work for either team to
Mhm.
me. But it's not. It's like its own little tier. But
Yeah.
we'll put it in unrealistic for now.
I don't know. So I think I would put it in the works for Nets, I guess, just because of the future.
They do have young players. Like the assets are there.
Yeah.
You know, RJ. I mean, I don't know if they would ask for RJ in this trade. I mean, I assume they said they wanted Devin Booker from the Suns, so I would
Yeah.
assume they would want RJ Barrett from the Knicks.
Yeah.
So, okay, maybe in that sense, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, and picks.
Yeah, because they're setting themselves up for the future if they do that. If they go that route.
Right. Like that's a very good package to me.
Mhm.
RJ's a young player with some potential. Cam's a young player with
Cam can
potential.
develop.
Mitchell's a young player who I wouldn't say he has the most potential, but he's just good as is.
Mhm.
And then Obi has some potential as well. And then you can
Obi doesn't get minutes. That's his issue.
Yeah. Obi doesn't play as much as he deserves to play. But you know.
Bro needs to get minutes. He's a great player. Like,
yeah. But okay, I see what you mean with the works for Nets. They would definitely ask for RJ Barrett. So I guess that makes sense. Toronto. I haven't even thought about this team. But
I haven't thought of them at
now
all.
that I'm thinking about them, like in my head and who they have, I think this could possibly turn into something.
Pascal?
So, I think they keep Pascal because again, if you're trading for KD, you're trying to win.
Yeah.
So I think the player who would be first to go would be OG. OG would have to be one who gets shed off, unfortunately. Then I think you also have to include Gary Trent Jr. in picks. Did they have? Oh, they took Christian Coloco, so he would also probably be in this trade. Who would this work financially? Let's see. It doesn't work. Let's see. You have to cut 191K out of the Nets or their incoming value. So who's the cheapest contract on the Nets? Can we do trade exception? DeAndre. Okay. Let's do
Cash
Day'Ron
considerations
Sharpe.
there.
Yeah, we'll just say cash considerations, or if this works, we'll say this. Okay, yeah. So cash considerations to make up that cash.
Yeah.
OG, Gary Trent, Christian Coloco picks, as you could assume.
I'm not too big of the Coloco because of Claxton.
Yeah, he would just kind of be on.
He would just kind of be there.
team to like develop
Yeah.
and see what he is. It wouldn't be
Mhm.
like we're planning on building around you or anything.
Yeah.
Just a young guy. But I think, Pascal, Fred, KD, and Scotty, and then the bench guys that they still have, Chris Boucher.
This
Preston
fits their
Stewart.
lineup really well.
Yeah, they're that lengthy team that likes to,
Lengthy team that likes to let the big run the floor.
exactly. So I think this could work. I think it works for KD because I think they could win something with
They
this
can
team.
win. Yeah, they can win it.
I don't know what the package looks like. So that's why I'm hesitant to say it works for both.
hmm
OG definitely has potential, no question. Gary Trent Jr. also has potential. Two young guys who I think are ready to play now. It could help you contribute to winning now, but are also, just at the beginning of what they could be if they're put in the right position to, develop.
Mhm.
Christian Coloco is a rookie who we don't really know too much. I mean, we know things about him because he was at Arizona, which is one of the
Yeah.
top programs in the country, but we don't know what he's going to be in the league. He wasn't a top prospect. So
He fell to the second round. He was projected a first round pick
right.
like a couple months before the draft.
So I don't know. I think again, this is another one that's bare minimum works for KD. I still am hesitant to say the Nets though,
hmm
because I don't think it's a good enough.
It's not enough. Like,
Right.
they would want, or I think they would need a lot in order for it to benefit both.
Right. So next team is hey, better not.
I'm not gonna lie,
I
this
think
can
they're
benefit both.
could it though?
Dawn.
But
That's
if
the
you
only
trade
person that I
if you're
can see.
trading KD for Donovan Mitchell, is that a positive for the Jazz at all? I mean, Donovan Mitchell is obviously worse than, KD, like no
Mhm.
question. But
But
like,
then, oh no, I don't think it's gonna benefit.
I mean, this would definitely benefit the Nets. They
It's
would get it
benefit the Nets, but it's not gonna benefit KD
right. He would
because he's
just
not
be,
gonna win a chip.
yeah, he would just be in
Yeah,
Utah with
he'd just be in Utah, just sitting there.
right. And it's not like, and they also don't have a young guy who they could trade.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I don't know how this would work. I also could never imagine Kevin Durant in a Jazz jersey. That'd be really weird.
that'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be weird. It'd be like, I guess you could throw in Jordan Clarkson and maybe it works. Okay, so see, and even here it says the Nets are the exact same record, and then the Jazz get worse.
Yeah,
They lose their sixth man and their best player. But and they have a bunch of like pretty large contracts, so I don't know how much they could improve.
I don't really see the point in doing this trade, to be
I just-
honest, for any
I think
party.
it's unrealistic. I think it's another
Yeah.
unrealistic one. So I think the Jazz are unrealistic.
The
Houston,
Rockets.
I don't.
This one, I think this one just benefits the Nets.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't benefit Houston.
Yeah.
Or would it benefit KD? Let's see what the package would look like, though. Can't use John Wall anymore, so that's not an option.
Mhm.
Eric Gordon to be a big contract. Sengun. You probably ask for KPJ.
KPJ,
Probably,
because Jalen's untouchable right now.
yeah, I would imagine Jalen's untouchable.
Yeah.
You probably ask for Jabari. And at that point, why even make the trade?
Why
Like,
even make the trade? Because
Yeah,
that's their whole that's their whole team.
that's what they're building for, and they're gonna have to improve.
Yeah.
So this is another unrealistic one.
Uh-huh. No, if anything, they'd be giving their picks back to the Nets
Oh yeah, from the Harden
for
trade.
the Harden trade. Yeah.
So I guess it would just be like, here, take your stuff back. But like,
Yeah.
I don't think Houston would do that. I think
Yeah, that's
that
unrealistic.
wouldn't make sense. New Orleans. This might work. This might be something. Brandon Ingram, obviously, he has to be it for KD. For Brooklyn, you get a young player, an all-star level young player. Similar mold to KD. You can't deny the similarities in their
The
game,
similarities.
frame and things like that. So he's someone you could develop, build around. For the Pelicans' perspective, it's an obvious upgrade. Like it's Kevin Durant. So
Yeah. It helps their team out too because it's just another scorer. Helps out Dyson Daniels as well.
And this trade is
Development.
actually great because I didn't even think about this. The Pelicans could trade the Nets the Lakers picks.
Yeah.
And if the Pelicans get KD, I don't know what the likelihood is of Kyrie going to the Lakers.
Hmm.
Like if the Lakers don't get Kyrie, I don't think they're going
Hold
to
on.
be very
So
good.
Kyrie might. Okay, so I saw this on TikTok.
Mhm.
Kyrie might just play out this season
Mhm.
and then next season sign with the Lakers.
I don't
But
think he
then
wants to do that.
I don't think he would want to do that because, as stated,
Mhm.
KD wants to play with Kyrie,
And
just
Kyrie
not in
wants to play
Brooklyn.
with KD.
Yeah, like they want to play with each other, just not in Brooklyn, which
I
is
think this is the perfect trade. I honestly think it is.
mhm.
I think New Orleans makes a lot of sense. So you would have to do KD for BI, right? What's the money we need? 2 million. You have to cut out 2 million for the
Just like
Pelicans.
Jose or something.
Yeah, someone Herb Jones actually, because he's a young player.
Oh, yeah.
who has actual
Mhm.
potential. So take Herb Jones, then you get all the Laker picks. You know, okay, it's 230K. That's cash consideration. Like I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
So the Nets get Herb Jones, young player with some defensive upside and some scoring upside.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram, who's one of the better young players in the league,
He's essentially
and
just
the
a
Laker
KD
picks.
replacement who can develop into a better KD.
and the Laker picks
I don't know about better KD, but he can
Yeah.
develop.
into a
He can fit that
similar.
mold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Laker and the Lakers picks. I think the Lakers picks is what takes it over the top for me because I don't think the Lakers are going
Yeah.
to be any good for the next few years. So, like, and then maybe you include EJ Liddell because I forgot he even got drafted there. So
Oh yeah, I
EJ
forgot about him.
Liddell. I think this is a great package for both sides. I think this is our
Mhm.
first team that works for both because
Yeah.
also KD goes to New Orleans, he would win. He still has CJ, he still
Yeah.
has Zion, he still has Valanciunas. And Herb Jones, as good as he is, he's a very good defender, but he could be replaced in free agency. Maybe not the
Yeah.
same level of defender, but a bench player who could play his role. So I think this is our first, makes a bunch of sense for both sides. The Lakers. This has been getting a lot of talk. I don't know why. I don't want it to happen at all.
I don't want it to happen with KD.
Yeah.
With Kyrie, I'm cool, but
Because
not
it'd be kind of
KD.
cool for a reunion, but I also just don't think the Lakers
Yeah.
deserve to get another star. Like, they need to show they can
Yeah.
actually build a competent lineup without just trading for the next unhappy guy and then trading away their whole
Mhm.
future when they already don't have a future. I don't is this KD for AD? Is that the trade? And then you throw in THT in the picks?
THT's untouchable. No, he's the next GOAT.
Like, the Nets getting Anthony Davis. Like, the Lakers would improve by 13 wins, bro, according to, this, which isn't all.
I mean, let's be real. This actually benefits the Lakers because AD isn't even playing like that.
Yeah, he's getting hurt often, so I guess you move on from Anthony Davis, who obviously is still one of the best players when healthy.
This isn't getting them a chip though.
Yeah.
This roster just isn't going to get them a chip.
I also don't, but again, LeBron, Russ, and KD. Do Russ and KD? I don't think Russ and KD.
Hear me out. Add Russ to the trade and Kyrie to the trade as well. It's unrealistic. I know it's hyperly unrealistic.
So
it still works. What?
It works. Yeah.
Okay. The Lakers don't even have picks though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have. I think
Yeah.
the next pick they can trade is 2027 to 2029.
Yeah, and the Nets aren't waiting for that.
Yeah,
like
that's
they want now.
That's 5 years from now, bro. So,
yeah.
Like,
I could see a Russ THT for Kyrie ish.
And even then, I'm not in love with that.
Yeah, I'm not in love with that trade either.
Yeah. I mean, financially, it works. This would just be a very weird thing to happen.
It fulfills both of what their wants are in playing together outside of Brooklyn on a different team.
That they can
and
win.
It feels, yeah, and they can win. They're next to LeBron James.
And Kyrie wants to go to the Lakers. So, I mean, it definitely feels his demand. I don't know how KD and LeBron get along. I think they're cool. I imagine they're cool.
Yeah, I think they're cool.
Obviously,
KD and Giannis aren't cool, right?
I think KD. I think KD and
James
cool. Harden and Giannis aren't cool, but
okay,
KD and Giannis, I don't think have beef.
It's because Harden got checked by Giannis.
Yeah. I still think this is unrealistic.
Yeah, it's extremely unrealistic. Like no one's
I don't-
trading Westbrook for Kyrie. Come on now.
Even then, the AD for KD trade is a bit unrealistic to me. Too.
Yeah,
I don't
because
think the Lakers
AD's not
trade
going
AD.
to play.
Yeah, I don't think the Nets would want to trade for an injury-prone
Yeah.
guy, no matter how good that injury-prone dude is.
Besides how Westbrook's performance was last season as well.
Yeah, it'd be.
I'm sure they wouldn't
scary.
want. They already have a non-shooter in Ben
Let's
Simmons.
think about it like this: if you can assume the Pelicans are going to call the Nets and the Lakers
Yeah.
are going to call the Nets,
Yeah,
the Pelicans give you the offer they did. Why would you take the Lakers offer?
I'm answering the Pelicans.
Right, like there's
We
no
get
reason
picks and players out of it. I'm taking that call.
over Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Who was great when he's healthy. He's a top 10 player in the league, no
Mm-hmm.
question. But he's just hasn't been healthy the last couple of years. So I don't know if I want to indulge in that. And then when you add the aspect of Russ for Kyrie, then it's just like, nah, you're pushing it. Chicago is next up. This is another one that I've seen a little bit of chatter about. Not too much, but it's been some chatter, a little bit. All right, we got my boy KD going to Chicago, and this would have to be for DeRozan, I assume.
Yes.
Like DeRozan would have to go, and I don't think this works financially. Still, you still have to add more money. So I guess at this point you have to trade Patrick Williams. Like he
Mhm.
has to go. Does this work? This does work. And then you add in
Do the
picks.
Bulls have picks?
They have a good amount of picks. So they traded some to get Vucevic, but it was like two firsts.
Oh, okay.
And like
Yeah.
last year and then this year. So they're good. They have their picks. So I think this is an interesting package. It worked for KD, but does this work for the Nets? Is my question.
I think you're gonna win.
Yeah, you're gonna win, but like
Yeah.
DeRozan is on the older end, so he's
If
not someone you
anything,
can build around
they can trade him. They can flip DeRozan.
at the deadline.
Yeah, they can flip DeRozan.
That's true. But then again,
I'm sure teams would accept DeRozan.
Yeah, DeRozan and Ben Simmons wouldn't be able to play together though.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't work.
No, just make it like a multiple team trade. So trade for DeRozan and then ship DeRozan somewhere else.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's add a third team. Who should we add in?
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, you could do 3 teams. You could add like 4 or 5.
What team do you think can trade or that
Would
would
want DeRozan. So like a team that wants another scorer.
A team let's just think
Portland.
of contenders right now.
Portland.
Yeah, Portland.
Portland would do
There,
this.
Perfect.
So let's say DeRozan. Where's DeRozan? DeRozan goes to Portland.
Mhm.
The Nets get back Anthony Simons.
Who just re-signed today
For a bigger deal.
100 something million, I believe.
I think it's 101.
101 over 4, yeah.
So then the Nets get Pat Williams, Anthony Simons, KD goes to Chicago, DeRozan goes to Portland. I
Yeah.
think this benefits everyone. Portland gets someone who could help Dame, obviously. The Bulls get Kevin Durant, and then the Nets get 2 young players who have potential. And then I would assume you would get picked from Chicago and Portland.
Yes.
Let's see if this works though. It works for these 2 teams. Blazers are getting too much. 22 million too much. So throw Eric Bledsoe in there too.
Wait, is Anthony's contract still up to date?
It's not up to date. Oh, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Would Shaden Sharp have to be in this trade? If you're the Nets, you're asking for Shaden Sharp? I think I would.
I think I would.
So I think, yeah, so Patrick Williams, Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp for KD, and the Blazers are giving up Anthony Simons and Shaden Sharp for DeRozan. And the Bulls are giving up Patrick Williams for KD.
Yeah.
I think the Bulls have to give up something else, though.
I mean, they're already giving up picks as well. What else can they give up? Shoot,
But I mean,
Caruso?
like you got to think about it like this, though. The Bulls are giving up Patrick Williams and DeRozan for Kevin Durant. Well, okay, I guess that's something. This is interesting. I think this works for everyone. It doesn't say it, but with Anthony's new contract, I assume it would work.
Yeah.
This benefits the Nets, obviously. They get picks and 3
They
very
get picks
solid
and
young
players. Yeah, picks and players.
Um,
This benefits the Bulls because they get KD, they get that score to help out Levine, who
And then-
might actually stay healthy.
it helps out the
And
Blazers
Help Dame. Period. That's it.
So I think this is who is this supposed to be? This is supposed to be for Chicago. I think
Chicago.
Chicago is
Add
really,
Portland in there too.
yeah. We'll just do them both in sequence because this
Yeah.
is together. I think this works for the Nets, and I think it works for KD. I think it works for both.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit unrealistic because this is a very specific trade that would have to happen.
It is extremely specific.
But if this were to happen, it would work for every team involved.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, say with the Lakers, if it happens, it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Um,
Because this one at least makes sense for all parties.
yeah.
It
and I
benefits their players and teams on which direction they're going
think,
to.
again, Blazers are up here too. It benefits because they're a part
Yes.
of this hypothetical.
Yes.
trade. Next is Minnesota. This is interesting. It I don't know how this will work though.
I'd
Minnesota,
imagine they have to give up Ant.
they'd have to give up D'Lo to make the money
Oh,
work.
yeah.
First off,
Hmm.
uh,
Cat's getting a new contract, right? Soon.
yeah, Cats. They're looking to sign him to a long-term, big-time
Yeah.
deal. D'Lo and Ant, this works, but I mean, the Nets definitely get two young players with potential. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, D'Lo doesn't have that much potential anymore.
He's not the youngest, but yeah.
Ant definitely though has potential. KD and Cat is a good duo.
I don't think they're winning a chip though, so it doesn't benefit KD.
Yeah,
Although it definitely benefits the Nets,
yeah.
just not KD.
So this is one of those where it's Nets, not KD.
Yeah.
But D'Angelo Russell and Ben Simmons are friends, so that's another little. I think they're friends.
Are they Australian?
No, I was thinking of Devin Booker and Ben Simmons, and they're not friends. They just both dated Kendall Jenner, so I'm tripping.
Oh.
Works
Oh,
for
no.
Nets, not KD.
D-Book and D'Lo are friends, I believe.
D-Book and D'Lo,
D'Lo and
Cat.
Cat.
They're
Yeah.
all friends.
That Slime Magazine picture. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
So we got our teams are back to back. Denver and then Oklahoma City. So let's go Denver. How would this work?
Just started off MPJ.
1 second. Let me get Brooklyn in here.
All right.
Yeah, so
I'd imagine
MPJ.
MPJ's gone.
For KD, Jamal also has to be a part of the
Yeah.
trade, bro. So
Yeah.
you're kind of screwed there.
Maybe
But
toss in.
how would this work? Like, could
whoa.
this work?
Toss in Bones Highland.
Toss in Bones.
Yeah,
to
toss
trade.
in Bones.
Like,
This is also outdated because Will Barton's no longer on the team.
yeah, this is interesting to me because they want to play together. The Nuggets could give them picks. And these are three, young players who
Mhm.
have shown.
They're all sub 25, pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are. Maybe Jamal might be 25.
He might be 25. He is 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But like 25 and under is still young. So
Yeah.
And then I mean, look at Brooklyn after this. They got Ben Simmons, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Bones Highland.
This sets them up in a great direction.
Yeah. The picks might not be the best because the Nuggets are going to be good.
Yeah, the Nuggets are going to win. But it benefits both sides. And the money works out.
Yeah, Kyrie and KD can go to Denver.
They get that 6-man in Bones Highland as well. So that helps them
Yeah.
out big time.
This would be an insane trio. Oh my God. KD, Kyrie, and Jokic.
Hmm.
Like, you got to be salivating at that, bro.
Yeah. It just sucks because Jamal's my guy.
Okay, this makes sense for KD
Mhm.
because he would
This makes
win
sense for the Nets as well, in my
because they
opinion.
get young guys.
They get young guy. Yeah.
And the picks, again, wouldn't be the best, but,
Picks are picks. You can't really.
yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'll say it works for both. It's definitely, I think, the least realistic, probably of the three so far. But very interesting that the money just worked out perfectly like that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
I'm
to work out.
surprised. I didn't expect it to work out because I was like, add Bones. I just said add Bones because, the young player.
What was the Nuggets record last year? What would plus 11 wins be for you guys?
It was 48 and 34. Oh
So
my
plus
God.
11 wins.
59 and 23.
Yeah, that's the best team in the league kind of record. you know,
Wow.
where would that have put you guys in the West? Like second seed?
It's not loading. Hold on.
Oh, while you figure that out, I'll load up our next team. But I imagine that would have made you guys like the second team, the second seed.
It would have made, yeah, the second seed.
Yeah. So
5 games back from the Suns.
that's a very interesting concept. Of course, plus 15 projection, you can't really say if it's true
Yeah.
or not, but it's interesting.
Besides, we don't even know if Kyrie's going to be playing all the games because
Exactly. Kyrie.
Mhm.
So that's an interesting package. Now, this is an interesting one because of the storyline. KD goes back to Oklahoma City
yeah,
to essentially rectify.
he
his
wouldn't
legacy.
receive any hate
Yeah.
going back.
This would probably be the only place he could go where it wouldn't make sense, or no one would hate on him.
Mhm.
Here or like Portland, I don't think people would get mad at him if he went to Portland because everyone seems to like Dame to an extent.
Everyone's like the help Dame boat,
Yeah.
essentially.
So how would it works? But we would have to see. Okay, I found something. I just thought of something. Oh no. Okay, let's see. I want to add Russ to this trade somehow to go to Brooklyn. Right? But KD's not going to the Lakers.
Mhm.
Kyrie goes to the Lakers. And then the Nets get Chet,
Chet.
they get Trey Man, they get the picks, all the picks. They get, oh, JR is good. I don't want to see your stats though. They can get, JR get on. Right? The Thunder get KD. KD gets to go back. The Lakers get Kyrie. They also get off Russ's contract. And the Nets are willing to take Russ's contract because they get Chet, Trey Man, and JRE.
Mhm. That's interesting.
Would
Yeah,
this
that's really
work?
interesting.
Okay, the Thunder would acquire too much money.
Who has a big Dort just re-signed,
One
so
second.
that might be tanking your guys' salary right now.
Yeah.
It might be a little lower.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Continue talking about this trade. I gotta go do something real quick. It's gonna take me like 2 minutes, bro.
All right. Okay, so pretty much Dort just re-signed for a contract, so this affects the Thunder because their projected cap right now is going to be changing, of course, because it's not implemented in yet. And some notable things about that is they might be able to, I don't know. Giving up Shea is, of course, as Khalil mentioned earlier, you want to keep your best player to team up with the other or the person that you're trying to acquire because it's what makes most sense. You're trying to win with that player. So keep Shea. They got Dort. They might have to give up someone else, obviously, to make the money work out. I can't really think of anyone, though. I could imagine a Laker trade because they just re-signed Malik Monk, I believe, today. Where is he? They signed Troy Brown. Malik Monk, 2-year, 19 million. No, he went to the Kings. Oops. But Dort signed 5-year, 87 mil. So that's going to be implementing change into their salary hit. I'm not really sure how this would work out because people that the Thunder is giving up is relatively young in Chet, JRE, and what's his name? Trey Man. Yeah. But I don't really see anyone else so they can give up other than Shea to make the money work out.
Oh, you were talking about the financial aspects?
Yeah, the financial aspects because Dort's contract isn't implemented in yet, so that's not into consideration. So the salary cap is going to be, you're going to need more money to give up
To make
up for that little.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
The Thunder
because
aren't
Dort's
giving enough money to receive that
Yes.
money.
Yes, because Dort's contract is still. Oh, hold on. Toss Dort into the trade then.
Where's Dort?
The Thunder.
Oh, he's all the way on
Toss
the bottom.
him
But where would he go?
somewhere. Lakers. They needed 3-and-D.
Okay. So then I assume we get one of their picks then.
Yes.
Or something. We would have to get something,
Something
from
for
the
them.
Lakers
Yeah, something from them.
to make us want to do that.
Yeah. But the only reason why I would see you guys doing that is to get rid of his contract because his contract isn't updated, as you
Mhm.
see, but Like you have to give something up to
Yeah,
get KD.
right. I see where
Just who would you get? Just who would you get back from the Lakers?
it doesn't really make sense for us to get anyone back.
Yeah.
This is like a best case scenario for I think every other than the Thunder.
Mhm.
As a fan, I don't want KD back.
I wouldn't want that.
It's cool and all to see him come back, but like I don't really want to trade all our young players to get KD.
It does not fit the timeline at all.
at all. It'll
It won't be restarting, but it'll be like going back to your ex.
right. It's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
Mhm.
But for the Nets, you take a bad contract that's expiring this year anyway. You're not going to probably be good, but you get the second pick in the draft. You get picks from the Thunder that are going to be good. You get Trey
Mhm.
Mann, JRE, three. So that's three young guys.
It'll just be restarting for the Thunder again.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
For the Thunder, I think it's bad. For the Lakers, I think this is perfect.
It's
If this
great.
happens to the
Yeah.
Lakers, like
It's
you
great
get rid of Westbrook and you get Kyrie and Lou Dort back. Oh my god. Oh my god. You get not really 3 and D because Lou Dort ain't the most efficient 3-point shooter, but definitely defense. Defense is there. And then you get Kyrie and you keep AD. So it's LeBron, Kyrie, and AD, and Lou Dort. That's pretty peak.
It's their little 3-and-D that they needed.
Yeah, and then the Thunder get, KD back. Maybe KD is like, I want to rectify what I did and I want to finish my career in Oklahoma City. Sure. I don't think we win anything because we would have to do something to improve the roster outside of just getting KD to win. But the Nets, big for the Nets.
Yeah.
I think this is interesting.
This might be one of those where it benefits the Nets. Just
It
not
definitely
KD.
benefits the Nets. Don't think it benefits KD. It doesn't
Yeah.
benefit KD if he wants to win, but if he wants to go back to Oklahoma City and rectify his, career and fix his legacy, then it does work for KD. We're just not up to this point. We only know that KD wants to win. That's what we
Yeah.
know. Yeah. This is an interesting potential 3-team trade. So let's go with our next team.
Hey, do we just keep the Lakers where they happen? Or do we move them?
I still think that's unrealistic though.
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen. Like, I only have the Thunder up here because I think there's a way that I could see Kevin Durant possibly saying, I want to go back to Oklahoma City.
Mhm.
I'm not too confident in it, but I think it's more realistic for him to. Here's the thing though. This is a teams getting Kevin Durant trade. It's
Oh, yeah, that's true.
unrealistic for the
Yeah.
Lakers to get Kevin Durant, but to
Yeah.
be a part of a Kevin Durant trade, it's possible.
Mhm.
They just wouldn't be the recipients of him. So we got Memphis, who's another, interesting team. It would be kind of funny because they low-key got a little bit of a rivalry brewing with the Warriors.
The
For KD
Warriors.
to go there, it'd be kind of
Yeah.
funny. So you get KD. KD goes there. Can't ask for Ja. He's untouchable.
You can't ask for Kyle Anderson as well because he just signed to the
With-
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say Zaire Williams, he would be a part of this. Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
And then I'm comfortable trading Desmond Bain. Get out of here. Go to Memphis. That doesn't.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
21 mil, so you got to make up some money. Let's
Oh my
go with Steven
God.
Adams and another young guy, Brandon Clark. We just traded 5 people who played for the Grizzlies, and they still improved by 7 wins, bro. Like, we traded their starting center, their starting small forward, their backup shooting guard, their starting shooting guard, and their backup power forward, and we gave them one guy, and they were just like, "Yeah, they're gonna get better." Like that's
His
how good
wins
of a
above replacement is so great.
right. Oh my god. Okay, so this is what the trade would look like for Brooklyn. This is a fine trade to me.
It's a great trade for Brooklyn, but I don't think it's going to benefit KD because that whole team is gone.
I mean, Ja, Jaren, and KD is a
Ja,
pretty
Jaren,
good
KD.
trio.
It's nice, but there's no depth, which is their whole identity.
Let's see. Who would they keep if we? I mean, they just re-signed Tyus Jones, who's one of the better backup point
Yeah.
guards in the league. Danny Green, who's kind of been on the decline lately in his career, still, interesting.
He's still solid.
Okay, is there a way that you can take out, like, say, Brandon Clark or like Zaire Williams? Say you don't want to give up Zaire Williams, right? Because he's someone you think can be an important part of your team. What if you do like Kennedy Chandler? Do you still do this trade if you're Brooklyn? I mean, you get a rookie.
I do that. But if I'm Brooklyn, I would do that if I'm Memphis. Oh,
But
well,
if you're
still works.
Brooklyn,
But if I'm Brooklyn,
you're asking obviously for Zaire because up to this point we know he's better. But if they were
Yeah.
like, we won't do Zaire, we'll do Kennedy, are you still like, okay, I could do this? Because you got to also
Yeah.
think of the picks they would get.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good trade too. Like I think this works. And even though they would lose some depth, I still think it could be replaceable.
it's
It-
literally KD.
yeah, you would still be able to replace the depth. There's
KD
some-
and Ja are gonna have so much gravity on themselves. Like,
right,
I'm just gonna set up other people who don't have to be the biggest names.
right.
They'll just create it themselves.
They can easily fix the depth if they do.
Yeah.
Desmond Bain, he's been improved. Yeah, I think this works for both sides. I think this works for both. KD would win in Memphis. They were already good. Of course, a lot of that was predicated on depth, like you said, but I still think he could win if they lose some of that depth. And they keep Ja and Jaren.
Yeah.
So this is another team that I think would work. Notice how most of the teams that work are in the West. So it's pretty unrealistic that he stays in the East up to this point.
Mhm.
Dallas. Okay. This would be crazy. Luka and KD. Okay, how would this even work? Oh, they did draft Jaden Hardy. I was like, how did they get Jaden Hardy?
Give a party.
Hardy would have no question. Hardy would have to be in this trade. Then
Jalen?
Brunson's already on the
He's not
Knicks.
on the. Yeah, he's already on the Knicks.
Knicks now. They don't have the young players to do it. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
literally they don't have the young like
Luka's untouchable. That's
yeah.
simple.
If the Nets were trying to like compete, like if the Nets had another star, like if Kyrie was going to stay, a trade that looks like this, I'm not too mad at because you get
Mhm.
two young or people who can contribute and help you win now. But assuming KD leaves, Kyrie's leaving too.
Yeah.
So just getting a Jaden Hardy, return, that's not really anything special
Mhm.
to me.
This is just unrealistic because it
I
doesn't
think it's unrealistic.
benefit any of them.
I mean, it benefits KD. He would win in
Yeah.
Memphis.
It benefits
So,
KD.
so I guess it works
He's
for
gonna-
KD.
Yeah.
And this is the one that works for KD the most. This is the one that's the most one-sided because I think
Mhm.
getting Chris Middleton is better than getting Jaden Hardy, or like
Yeah.
getting OG Anunoby is better than Jaden Hardy. This is the one that works mostly for KD and really doesn't work for the Nets at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Spurs. I don't think this is too possible anymore because they don't have DeJounte, who would have been the big flag.
Yeah. That's why I have it as unrealistic because they're not gonna win.
Yeah. And he definitely wouldn't win here. I don't think the Nets also.
Yeah.
I don't think this makes sense for the Nets at the moment. It looks like they're shifting towards a rebuild, so I would say
Yeah.
unrealistic. Phoenix, they're KD,
Okay, So the Nets want Booker, but
Yeah, like-
if I was the Nets, I would settle for McCall and DeAndre Ayton.
yeah, I don't think you need both.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think it's realistic to get Booker.
Mhm.
So I think give them KD. They already are struggling to get DeAndre Ayton a contract, so just bring in DeAndre Ayton. He's probably the best center on the market. Bring in McCall Bridges, who's a player who has the 3-and-D potential. And really, if you want to push it, ask for Cam Johnson too. Like if you really want to push it. And this still doesn't work, you would have to cut $13 million from the Suns what they're receiving. So, and they don't have the contracts. Okay, that's an issue. So that makes it 8 with Dario Saric, and then you probably throw in Landry Shamet. So this is what it would look like. The Suns would get worse because of just how much they would be losing. Like these are
Mhm.
McCall, DeAndre, and Cam are all starters for the team. So it's kind of like
3 starters for one
superstar
caliber player.
like MVP level player, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is there a way they can do this without giving up? Oh, wait, hold on.
Wait, no. Wait. Remove Landry and Cam Johnson. No, actually just remove Landry and Sarge. Remove Landry and Sarge. DeAndre Ayton wants a new contract. He's gonna get that bigger
Oh
contract.
yeah, he would. It would be a sign and
Yeah.
trade.
So it's just fine.
Also, I just thought about this. It could be DeAndre Ayton and Cam Johnson because JaVale, they needed to clear like when I added Shamit or when I added Sarge, it would have been like 5 million they would have still needed to clear. That five
Mhm.
million is gone because JaVale McGee is now a Maverick.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah, it could be DeAndre Ayton and Cam Johnson.
Hmm.
And if they were to do a sign and trade for KD, it would work financially, obviously. Because they would, you know, they would make the money work if that's how they were gonna do it. This doesn't work now because it would have to be a sign and trade, obviously. But
Yeah. Yeah, I
for-
just thought of the DeAndre Ayton contract because
yeah.
sign and
He
trade.
wouldn't get traded there on his rookie deal. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
Would you, if you're Brooklyn, do you do this?
Yeah. I do it.
You think this is enough?
Some picks, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, this picks obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yes. I would do it.
If I'm if I'm the Nets,
Hold
I-
on. No, hold on. I'm gonna hesitate on that answer
go ahead.
because where is
Something
he?
happened? Oh,
Nick Claxton re-signed. So what's the point in trading for
I mean,
two bigs that can't shoot
you could just have Nick Claxton come off the bench.
and
really.
Simmons?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but that's gonna be two people that. Yeah,
The spacing would
Yeah.
be awful.
that's the
But-
thing. Like,
I think there's a way you can make it work. Like, I would hope there's a way they could make it work because I think DeAndre Ayton is probably the best. I'm trying to think of any other really good young player that could get. Like, I'm trying to think of teams we haven't already done.
Mhm.
The Jamal and MPJ thing. the
I
Brandon
would take that in a
Ingram,
heartbeat.
and then the Grizzlies package are all really interesting. But DeAndre Ayton, as a just one player type of thing, he would be the best player they would have gotten.
Oh
they
yeah.
could get so far that we've seen.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like okay. So here's what I did while you were talking. I was like, I took Cam Johnson out for McCall Bridges because if I'm the Sun or if I'm the Nets, I have to get McCall Bridges for me to do this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would be like, yeah, Cam Johnson is cool and all, but y'all can keep him. He's good. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I
Mhm.
want McCall Bridges because he has more value, obviously. So
Yeah.
I'm saying Ayton and Bridges. On a sign and trade for Ayton to make the money work, but
Mhm.
I think this works.
Yeah.
And then if Ayton isn't getting paid enough to where it's like fully covered, you would throw in Sarge just to make it, like make up that last few million that needs to be made up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this works for KD. Obviously, if he's on the Suns, who were the one seed, and they get Kevin Durant, they would be pretty darn good, So I think this is one that worked for KD and it worked for the Nets to me. So they're up there. It makes sense. If they try and go about it the way they seem like they want to, with trying to get Devin Booker, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We got the Clippers next though, and I don't think this could work, as far as I know, because they don't have picks. The picks are gone.
They don't have money too.
Yeah, I mean, really, if they wanted to, Paul George for KD. Like,
Yeah.
the contracts are identical. But why would the Nets trade for Paul George?
Hmm.
Like Ben Simmons and Paul George. I mean, I guess you're winning now. You don't have to worry about not having a future because you're gonna be decent still. But it's like, they don't get any picks. They're literally just doing Kevin Durant for Paul George, and it's not even like they don't have a young player to throw in because they don't have any
Yeah.
picks. So it's like it's just kind
Terrence
of like a
Mann.
slog. Yeah, I guess you throw in Terrence Mann, and he's like the sweetener. The Nets would lose 12 wins, and the Clippers would get 10. I think that would make the Clippers a 50-win team, and they were a 40-win team without Kawhi being healthy.
Yeah.
So Kawhi is healthy, and then you upgrade Paul George to KD. That's pretty interesting. I'm not saying that this doesn't work for the Nets because Paul George is obviously a good player, but it's like, why do you do this? I don't
There's
get it.
no sense in them doing it.
They would just be another playoff team. Like,
It's a lateral move. It's not benefiting anyone.
I mean, it benefits KD for sure. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. It
Go-
benefits
go
him.
to-
Yeah. It benefits
I-
situation, but like
It's definitely a better package than the Mavericks package,
Yeah,
and it's probably still a better package than like the Raptors package. No, it's not. I
it's
think it's.
not.
I
It's
think the
not.
Raptors
I
actually
I
have the
like the
best
Raptors
package out
package
of
more.
all of here.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, they're just next to the Bucks, where it's like Chris Middleton is obviously worse than Paul George, but it's like, why do you do this exactly? Like, are you trying to build a team that can win now? I guess.
there's no sense in the direction of what they're going.
Yeah, it would just be a weird trade. Okay, next,
GSW.
this would be wild, and there's a very real way this could happen, and it would work for both sides. Wiggins,
Gone.
uh, Poole, Moody, and where's he at? Wiseman.
They also have picks too.
And they have all their picks. They haven't really
Yeah.
made any trades. So this works. This just works. Like
Yeah.
you trade your 4 young guys and you get Kevin Durant. So I mean, he would win. Like we you know, we can't even question if he would win. He won twice here already. So
Yeah.
as far as that goes, it will work out. And then for the Nets,
I actually
this is
like
a
this for
pretty good
Kaminga.
add Kuminga, you said?
No, don't add Kaminga, but I
Oh.
like this for Kaminga because he's actually going to get some minutes.
Yeah, he would have to become a starter at this.
Yeah.
For the Warriors, I think this is a bad trade because you lose a lot of like depth.
You lose a lot of depth.
Plus, they also already don't
You
have
don't get
Juan
to
Toscano Anderson.
Yeah.
But
And you also don't get to see what James Wiseman is. Like
Yeah.
we saw some of him, but he was injured in G League.
but obviously, this works for both sides. This is another
Yes.
one that works for both sides. It doesn't work for the team that would do the trade, but it works for the 2 people we're talking about.
Mhm.
Detroit, I'm going to
Detroit.
check just to see, but I don't think it's very realistic. Yeah, this would never happen. Like they don't have the money to work. So Detroit is unrealistic.
just trade the whole team.
Sacramento, I
I don't like that.
don't think it's realistic. I'll check.
Sabonis.
Yeah, but KD for Sabonis is disgusting. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's horrible.
The Keegan Murray, Sabonis is 25, I guess, or like 26, and he's been an All-Star, so I guess that's cool. KD goes to Sacramento. They get Davion Mitchell too. He could go in the trade. It's not awful. It's not
It's not the worst.
far from a terrible package, but
Yeah.
and then
it's
throw in
not the
Harrison
best.
Barnes to make it work. It works. Like the money adds up. You trade your whole starting lineup because
For
Davion's
KD.
going to start at the 2. Sabonis is going to start at the 5 probably. Keegan starting at the 4, and then Harrison starting at the 3. You trade all of them, and then give KD De'Aaron Fox, and you still improve by 9 wins.
That's insane.
I mean, this works for the Nets. I think this is a pretty good package.
It works for the Nets, but it doesn't work for KD.
because I don't think he would win in Sacramento.
He's not gonna win.
Yeah. Cleveland.
The land. Mobley.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd imagine Mobley has to go.
It'd be one of their players.
Yeah.
KD. Then it's between Allen or Mobley. I say Jared Allen was in Brooklyn at one point. So let's say send Jared Allen back to Brooklyn. Right. They can get Sexton.
Sexton didn't sign yet.
Yeah,
Sign
but
and
like
trade?
on a sign and trade type of thing.
Okay.
Then you get Ochai Agbaji. Like they can put together a pretty decent package, like a really decent package.
Bro, I thought Woj just posted something, but it was the Jokic deal.
Oh.
5-year, 270 mil supermax.
Like this is the package essentially. Jared Allen, Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, Larry Markkinen to make the money work. For KD, the Cavs get one extra win. The Nets stay the same. But I think this is actually a decent package for the Cavs.
Jaw he just signed for another contract.
What's the number?
5-year, 193 mil. Rookie max.
You got his back.
It could become 231.
Hey, we'll take that. Shout out him. I think this is I don't know. I think this is a bit unrealistic. I don't think the Cavs would trade all of that to get KD though.
Yeah, they
Ochai,
wouldn't.
Ochai, Colin, Jarrett, Lowry already have a good core. There's no reason to trade for Kevin Durant.
Mhm.
Boston.
Celtics.
This would be
JB would have to go.
yeah, it have to be JB. This would be a very like if KD did this, I'd be like, come on, bro. You did the same thing twice. You get first you choke the 3-1 lead to the team and then go to the team that beats you, and then you get swept and then you go to the team that beats you. Like, come on now, bro. You can't be doing that. Jaylen Brown has to be a part of this. I'm asking for Robert Williams. I'm sorry. I need Robert Williams. Yeah, maybe just those two guys. And the Nets get better.
Works. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because who's the Celtics starting center? Like Daniel Tice?
Yeah. Or yeah, at that point it'd be Daniel Tice.
Yeah.
But I think a center would sign to the Celtics if they knew they had KD and Tatum. But
Mitchell Robinson, but then he wants a bag.
I think this is one that worked for both. I think the Celtics could win with KD and Tatum, but I also think it's unrealistic. Like it works for both,
It's
but it's
unrealistic, but I don't see the Celtics giving up JB.
Yeah, it's
Robert Williams.
It's unrealistic, but it works.
Yeah.
So we'll just say it works. I just don't think it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next up? Philly. This is unrealistic. It's not going to happen. I'll still do it, but like Harden's
taking a pay cut.
Yeah, but I also don't think Harden KD likes Harden because KD or Harden kind of sold on.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have the money, no question.
Yeah, of course.
Throw Tobias Harris in here as a bad contract. Give up Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Paul Reed. It's some picks,
I'm not sold on this.
It's not a great package. It's definitely fun.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this at all.
But for the Nets, Joel, James, and KD would be a crazy trio. Definitely works for Kevin in that situation.
But it just wouldn't for KD, for him specifically, wouldn't fit him.
Yeah, I don't think him as a person will want to play with Harden again. I also don't think that's a good enough package coming back from trading KD. Charlotte. I mean, they could trade Miles Bridges.
Sign and trade. If he can even get on the court.
Federal confinement, maybe.
First, it's lemonade.
Pink lemonade. There's actually a package here. Like a realistically decent package. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to make something work here. The Hornets will have to give up so much for this to work, but like Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Book Knight as a young prospect, McGowens as a young prospect, Mark Williams as a young prospect.
Just giving up their whole team. And
the Hornets get better.
Oh my God.
But I think this is like if Brooklyn had a starting lineup next year, Ben Simmons, then you have James Bouknight, you have whoever they slide it, Seth Curry, I guess at the 3, or Miles at the 3, PJ at the 4, and then
Nicholas Claxton
or Mark Williams at the 5. So
yeah, that's
a solid little young core. Gordon Hayward's a bad contract that they could just play him for the year, trade him at the deadline. So I guess, and then there's picks. Hornets have their picks, I'm pretty sure. So I think it works for the Nets. I don't think KD wins in Washington. The Wizards. Or KD is actually from
I was from Texas.
That's school, but like hometown, he's from like that area. I don't know if it's the DMV or Washington specifically, but he's from that area. But this trade would be essentially
DC. Yeah, he's from DC.
Okay, so yeah. So KD for there's a package here. Like the young players the Wizards have are pretty nice. Obviously,
I'd imagine they'd give
Johnny
up Kuz.
Davis. Kuz has to be in this. KCP is not on the team anymore. KCP is a Nugget, right?
Yes.
So you also trade in Denny, Roy,
Picks.
Hicks, but this doesn't work financially. I think you have to throw on Porzingis too. And cut $1 million from the Nets incoming trade. So the Nets are getting too much back. So we'll take out, or we'll throw in the Wizards one more person to, make it add up.
Hmm.
We'll give them, let's say Dayron Chuck. He's just the guy who's always going to get traded just to get traded. This works.
I don't like it for the Wizards' perspective. Because aren't they trying to win? And aren't they trying to like build around Beal?
I mean, KD and Beal is a nice duo, but
It's a
now
nice
they
duo,
have
but it's
no
gonna be like
bench.
it's gonna be like another failed Kyrie and KD.
Yeah, I think it's a very
That's how I see
similar-
it.
It's a very
That's really
similar
how-
team to like Kyrie.
That's exactly how I see it, bro. Because like it's gonna be another failed experiment of a little dynamic duo, but it's gonna fail.
And then this is a good package though for the Wizards.
For sure.
The Nets, great package.
For sure.
Porzingis and Ben Simmons on the same team would get clowned all the time, but he has to be in there for money. Davis, is a
Kuzma
top
and
10
Ben
pick.
Simmons on the same team would be hilarious.
Kuzma, Porzingis, and Ben Simmons on the same team. Oh my god, the Nets would be the last. Like, as soon if this were to happen, all the NBA meme accounts would post a picture of Harden, KD, and Kyrie, and it'd be like, how do you go from this to this? And then it's just Kuzma, Ben Simmons, and Porzingis.
Because didn't Ben Simmons and Kuz date like the same person?
Kendall Jenner. They both
Yeah,
dated
Kendall.
Kendall Jenner. Devin
Yeah,
Booker dated Kendall Jenner. There was someone
Did
else.
Tristan Thompson?
Tristan Thompson dated the other gender. That was
Oh.
Caitlyn, and he cheated
Oh.
on her.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Debo. No, not D'Lo.
D'Lo did. Yeah, she been around. She been around.
Good
I
scout.
think this is unrealistic for
Unrealistic for the Wizards.
Yeah, I don't think it makes very much sense for the Wizards to do this.
Yeah.
I think it's just unrealistic in general. I mean,
Yeah.
KD wants to come home and play. The Wizards want to make Beal happy, so they bring in KD. The Nets get a good package back. So, like, we both can agree that this is a good package for the Nets, right? So I guess it makes some sort of sense, but this would only happen if KD said he wanted to go home and play. But
Yeah.
I get what you mean where you say like it's to be a failed experiment. I think if this team is together, I don't think they're a championship team,
Mhm.
but I think they can be solid. So I guess it works for both, but I don't think it's very real. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's another
It's
one.
not, yeah. It just so happens to work, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Last team,
Miami Heat.
which is his other top team. Miami. Where's Miami?
I'd imagine they'd have to give up Tyler at least.
Yeah. Oh, bare minimum. Tyler's
Yeah,
the-
bare minimum.
in this trade, right?
VO just re-signed.
Who?
Maybe toss him. Victor Oladipo.
Oh.
11
I think
mil?
it'd be Bam. I think it'd be Bam and Tyler. And this works. The Heat get better by 1 win, and the Nets get better by 2 wins. Just to keep
This
it
kinda-
simple.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
It works, clearly. See it right in front of us.
right. Like the money works. It says
Yeah.
the trade is successful in big lettering, but
I just don't know how to feel about it.
if I'm a Heat fan, I'm a bit mad that we traded
Yeah.
Bam and Tyler for KD.
It's a one-sided trade. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, like the Heat would be good, but here's the thing: the Heat already lost PJ Tucker, right?
Hmm.
You know, if they lose Bam, PJ, Tyler, that's 3 like very
That's
big
3
rotation
core players.
That really hurts.
They're not a conference final championship
Is
level
there
team.
a way we can do this without Bam that would still make sense for the Nets? Let's do
Remove Bam.
Jovic. Yeah, remove Bam.
Jovic, add Kyle Lowry.
I'm gonna add Duncan Robinson.
Okay.
He's a bigger deal.
No, I don't think the Nets would do that though. They already have
Seth.
Harris, and
Well, I mean,
Seth.
they're not taking him to like fit what they're building. I think they're taking him just so it works financially.
Mhm.
So that's like 20 mil. You still got to make up another 20. So at that point, yeah, if we without doing Bam, you would have to do something that involves Kyle Lowry.
Kyle, yeah.
And then this is one where the Nets get worse noticeably than the Heat. But if they do this one, at least they keep Bam.
Mhm. They get okay. So my thinking on this would be the Nets get a veteran off the bench, Kyle Lowry. They also
Mhm.
get that scorer, that young scorer in Tyler Hero, shooter, Duncan Robinson, bam. Jovic, young
or
prospect,
Jovic.
bam.
I said Vucevic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not
I can.
the best package
It's
though.
not the bet. If I'm
Like
the Nets,
um,
I'm asking for Tyler and Bam.
unless I get Bam, it's not really worth it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I would go. It it works for both, I guess, if you get
yeah.
Bam. But yeah, that's all the teams. I do want to do something here though, since we've done this. Out of all of
Mhm.
the like top teams, let's rank them from the perspective of how likely we think they are, right? So
Okay.
I think objectively the least likely out of all of these is probably the Warriors.
Warriors. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they like each other very much anymore. I think that relationship's kind of faded.
Mhm.
I think, you know, I think the Nuggets one was also really unrealistic.
Celtics is really unrealistic.
Celtics is also really unrealistic.
Wizards.
Wizards one is also unrealistic.
Mhm.
And then it's these like 6 teams that I think have a realistic ish shot. Out of all of these, I think, you know, the Grizzlies probably aren't willing.
They have the lowest shot. Yeah.
I don't think they're willing to trade all of that to get KD.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think the Suns are willing to trade Book for
yeah, so that's all. Actually, yeah,
KD.
considering they're asking for Book, this is probably the least realistic.
Yeah.
Then there's the top 5. KD.
We just kind of bypassed that Book trade.
Yeah. The Heat is his like top option. He wants to go there, so I'm gotta like give them some benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think who's the young guy that you're getting in this trade. Like the Bulls thing is, I'm gonna put them below the Grizzlies because the Bulls only happens in a 3-team trade team. I don't think
Yeah.
it's Brooklyn and Chicago that does it.
Same thing for Portland though too.
I think Portland could do a deal by themselves. Like I think I can make a trade
Anthony?
for Portland right now.
Anthony.
And then like Bledsoe would make up the
Yeah.
money. Let's see. Like it'd be KD for Bledsoe, who's on a terrible contract. Give me Anthony. Give me.
Wait, before you do it, keep in mind Anthony's contract. He just resigned today.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'm still gonna throw in Shaden Sharp because Shaden Sharp's on a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it would make some
Major difference. Yeah.
high addition in salary. You know, they could. Okay, well, missing 32 million, but Anthony Simons is like a $25 million player, and then you throw in like 7 mil, which is easy to. Keon Johnson's a young player with potential.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Dunn, that's 7 million right there, and this is the package. And then picks. I think this is a pretty solid package, you know.
Yeah.
But with Chicago, they legit cannot make a top tier package by themselves. Like, you know, KD for DeRozan doesn't work by itself. You got to throw in a young player. So then you throw in Patrick. And like AO, Patrick, and Kobe. If they do all of those guys, it works. But then the Bulls get worse because they're trading so much stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't think Chicago can really make
one-sided again.
Okay, so
honestly, I'm putting New Orleans above. New Orleans at 1.
Yeah, I think
at 3.
Heat at 3. Portland 2.
Yeah, Portland 2. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think New Orleans by far has the best package at the moment. Like, I don't think you can beat Brandon Ingram, all those picks, Herb Jones, you know, that's a really good package. Like, I just think it's just because I feel like I'm like really low on the Lakers at the moment.
I feel I'm biased toward Brandon Ingram because I like him.
Yeah, no,
But
he's an all-star level player. My thing is I'm really biased to how bad the Lakers are going to be. Like, I
Mhm.
don't think they're going to be good. So I think getting the Lakers picks is the way to go.
yeah,
So, and if the Pelicans were ever going to trade those Lakers picks, it's for Kevin Durant. So I think New Orleans is the team that I think makes the most sense.
so for Brandon Ingram's career, he's averaging
Like
18 and a
21.
half
Oh,
points.
18.
Yeah, for his career. Last season though, he was averaging 22 points per game, which is great.
Yeah. How old is he? Like 24?
He is 24, I believe. Where is his age? Bro, I just saw his age.
Are you on Basketball Reference?
Yeah, I'm on Basketball Reference. He is 24,
Like comfortably 24, or he's turning 25 soon?
turning 25 in September.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's still younger.
Yeah.
I like this pack. I just think it's a good package that way. And then like Shaden Sharp, we can't say he's a mystery prospect. Like if we just look at who the best player is in each of these packages, we got Aiton. We're looking at, I guess, Poole or Wiggins, MP or
MPJ and Jamal.
Jalen Brown and Robert Williams, Kuzma and a bunch of guys.
Kuzma, Porzingis,
Davis, yeah, a bunch of Denny Advia, a bunch of guys in picks. DeRozan, Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams. Who else was it? It was Zaire Williams. It was a bunch of dudes on the
a
Grizzlies.
few people. Yeah.
The Heat is Hero and
Probably
Bam.
Hero and Bam.
Blazers is Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons. I think I put the Heat over.
Yeah.
Blazers, because I think Hero and Bam is just too good of a package.
Yeah.
But I think this is a fair place to put them. I think this is really I think it's balanced. But yeah, do you have a team that you want to see KD go to? Like, even if it's unrealistic, do you have a team that you think would just be really fun to watch and play for?
Look at that. Dang. Okay. Anyways, probably the Heat.
The Heat is the team that you think would be the most fun.
As much as I don't like them, because we have a bunch of Heat friends.
Yeah, they love playing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Probably the Heat though.
I think the Heat are interesting.
Yeah.
Really,
although what they'd have to give up would change their team a lot.
Yeah. Out of all the trades I think is the most interesting, the one that I'm like really still thinking about is the MPJ Jamal for Kyrie KD thing. Because it just, the fact that it works out financially like makes it seem like it the way to go. Do you think the Nuggets would offer that?
Hold on, let me check something.
Go ahead.
What's it called? COVID mandates.
Oh, you're trying to see Kyrie.
If Kyrie can play.
I'm pretty sure he would be fine, but like, because all you would have to really check is, has KD or did Kyrie ever play against the Nuggets this year?
Oh,
because if he played against you guys while you guys were at home, then yeah, he's straight.
Let's see here. Dang, bro, it's 27 points per game. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro was hooping.
Yeah, bro was going crazy.
Bro
oh my god,
really hooping. And like,
where can I find that stats?
You're using Basketball Reference. I'm gonna stop the screen share.
Oh, I'll check Basketball Reference.
Use Basketball Reference, then you would go like Brooklyn Nets. Check all their games.
Okay.
There are 2 games against Brooklyn, and just see if Kyrie played in the one that was away. It's a pretty
Nets.
tedious process, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
We need this information.
Brooklyn Nets. Bam, bam, bam.
And then it should show all the bars with like the score difference. Look for the Denver games.
Yeah.
Look for the Denver games away from home.
Oh my god. What's green? Is it green home?
Green means they won.
Oh, they won? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of just gotta
look for the date.
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Denver. Brooklyn, Denver.
Nets v Denver. Nuggets.
Only thing
They
that's tough.
played February 6th and January 26th. What's up?
Only thing that's tough with this is if the games were before Kyrie was allowed back on the team, then we'll have no idea. But
Mhm.
let's see if he played in the February game. If that was, out away from home.
I'm checking January 26th right now. Let's see here. Whoa, why am I?
Was that in Denver?
I can't tell. It was in Brooklyn. I don't think he played then, huh?
Does it say? Can you see the box score for the game?
Denver Nuggets basics and advanced stats. Oh, here it is. He did not.
Oh, he did play against you guys.
He did?
He did.
Oh, I see.
Nets versus Nuggets. I just searched it up on Google. I searched up Nets versus
Oh.
Nuggets. It showed both of you games. The second one at home, where when you guys were at home, Kyrie did play against you guys at home, and he dropped
Okay.
27 and 11 on your dome.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about COVID mandates. He'd be straight.
Okay.
I
Then
think
yeah,
that,
I would
yeah.
honestly, I would do the trade. Because that's that missing that step ahead of getting
And
that
Nuggets
championship.
would be so good with that big three. I just
Yeah.
think I don't know how it would work because I think they're all a bit too dominant.
Mhm.
They all they don't need the ball in their hands, but they're best with the ball in their hands, obviously. So it's just I don't know how it will work out in game.
I mean, hear me out. Kyrie could collapse the make the defense collapse.
Mhm.
Jokic rebound, pass out, bam, 3.
Yeah, I mean it's easy. Like just having all of those guys who can all really drop like 50 if they wanted
50
to.
on a given night.
So I don't know. I think that's an interesting concept.
Mhm.
Very interesting concept. Yeah, that would be the most fun one to me.
Yeah.
Geez,
That's all I got on that.
we spent the whole time talking about KD. We didn't even talk about like everything else that happened. So
Oh
let's
my
kind of
God.
just give a quick run through of everything that's happened so
Alright.
far.
So basically,
You want to go? Because I have the
Sure.
CBS thing up.
I'll go until I'll just go for now. Okay. So Beal signed 5-year deal worth up to 251 million to the Wizards. Jalen Brunson 4-year 104 to the Knicks. Anthony Simons 4-year 100 million extension. Bobby Portis 4-year 49 mil. Kyle Anderson signed to the Timberwolves 2 years 18 mil. Tyus Jones 2 year to 30 mil. Same team re-signed Grizzlies.
Mhm.
Oh, that's actually great. Oh, that's really nice. Mo Bamba re-signed with the Magic 2 year 21 mil. And then PJ Tucker 3-year 33.2 mil to the Sixers. VO re-signed 1 year 11
Dort.
mil. That's Dort 5-year 87.5 million.
Malik
Great.
Monk is a king now. Yeah.
That's it.
Now we're really just waiting to see.
Oh,
the
hey,
moment-
why does it say John Wall's unsigned?
It's because he hasn't signed his contract technically.
Oh, he has to
Yeah, we don't know how
So
much
he
he's
intends.
making. He
Okay.
just agreed to go to the Clippers. Up to
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's so far been all the signings. It's been mostly re-signings today. There hasn't been a big. I mean, I guess the biggest signing or addition is Jalen Brunson at the moment. I think it's a bit of an overpay. And I'm also a bit concerned for the Mavericks not getting him back because I think they really needed to get him back. But, you win some, you lose some. If I can get Kevin Durant, which we said they were unrealistic to get Kevin Durant, sucks to be a Mavericks fan right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if that's what people were trying to pay him, hey, I wouldn't have paid him that much. But he's like at best unless your best player is like really elite, like Luka, he's like a third option. So it's kind of a bit of an.
I think he performs at that level because all the gravity's got Luka.
Right.
Because Luka's just so good.
Right. It's such an I think it's a bit of an overpay. Hopefully he performs in New York because if he doesn't,
I think he'll do fine.
I think
just because RJ.
Yeah, he got RJ, Julius, those guys.
Yeah.
Just like
he won't. I think he'll have like a little slight decline, but it shouldn't be anything crazy.
Right. That's probably been the biggest move so far. Has there
Yeah.
been any crazy trades? I'm trying to think. No one's gotten traded yet. That's
Mm-mm.
been like a big deal.
Just the Will Barton, Monty Morris for
Yeah, that's been a
what's his
trade.
name? Oh my gosh, what's his name?
KCP.
KCP and someone else.
Yeah, that's been the biggest trade thus far. So it's just a waiting game for KD and Kyrie. Hopefully, we can get some
Mhm.
more news in the next coming days. I imagine we will. When do you think we're gonna see a trade? How long do you think we're gonna have to wait?
I give it a week because I'm sure the Nets are going to listen for everything.
Yeah, a week.
Ears are open and they want to hear every single
Offer
offer that's on the
and
table.
then analyze what's the best move for them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a week. I could see a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah, I can totally see that
But like,
because
I don't think
someone said they got like 15 calls
today.
immediately.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. Hey, it sucks to be a Nets fan right now.
hmm
I'd be sick to my stomach if I was a Nets fan. Oh
Bro,
my
I don't
god.
even know any Nets fans that exist.
Right. Oh my god, I'd be sick if I was a Nets fan. Hey, sucks to be young. That's what happens when you try and trade all for 3 superstars and it doesn't work out.
Build a super team.
Yeah.
Or not even build, buy.
Buy a super team just to get swept. And yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say for today.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about football in so long, but it's just like nothing.
There's nothing going on.
But yeah, I think.
I mean,
oh, go ahead. Has anything
Baker,
happened?
nah. Baker went to a charity.
Shout out Baker.
That's it.
Shout out Baker.
The Browns said they want a man at quarterback.
Yeah.
Someone who got SA accusations and then someone who's, going to charities.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Deshaun Watson, he's a hands-on kind of player, like he's just like he's someone you want in the locker room, just not by himself though. Like
he forces the ball in places he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he forces some things, He's all about his recovery, he clearly values his body.
At least he makes initiative.
Yeah, he definitely takes initiative. He's always striving for greatness.
Yeah. Okay. I'm calling it the episode right there.
That concludes the Poverty Franchise podcast. We'll be back on Saturday with another episode. Hopefully we get some more news or trade or some signings. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.